Welcome back to a new video. So this was my Monday session. So if you saw my last couple videos, I was able to go back up to Rubber City Weightlifting to get another training session in. I most likely won't be up there again until Thanksgiving, but it's always nice to get up there and hit a really nice training session. But that session went really well up there. I didn't train it at all Friday, the day before that session, or Saturday, or Sunday, I should say, the day after that session. So this was Monday, so I technically had a day off the day before, but it was enveloped by being at a wedding. Thankfully, I wasn't in the wedding necessarily. I just had to attend, which certainly takes a level of stress down. But I drove back home this morning on this day, and so I was dealing with just 3.5 hours of driving and being just mentally tired on this day, but physically. As you saw, I jumped from 70 to 100, which is something I don't ever really do on snatches, but I was able to do a triple here with 100 and with 105, so improvements from the previous week where I was struggling with 105. The struggles this week, instead of 105, were at 110, and they were super close, but I think that's where the fatigue kind of manifested. I just didn't have that peak double strength, and hopefully next week I'm able to push the doubles up and make 110 and hopefully even 115. But just to continue to push those up, since all of the snatch numbers are from the blocks, and really in general, are moving in the correct direction. After doing the block snatch work, I did clean plus push press from the blocks, and went from 70 to 110, and then took 2 attempts at 130, which I actually don't know if that probably wouldn't have been a PR from, I don't know. I don't keep track of block, clean, push press from the blocks. It's not an important complex for me to keep track of. Obviously the push press is, but that altogether is not. But took one good attempt at 130. The first attempt was decently close. The second one wasn't as close. Definitely could feel the fatigue there, but definitely was hoping for that. Really should have just did 125. That was kind of the original plan, but once I threw the blue on, I was like, I'll just go right to 130 and see if I can do that. And I think if I had a belt on, and if I was fresh, it's definitely there. That's how close it felt. It didn't feel like I was that far off, but I just need that little bit more strength, which hopefully we can get next week. If I can do 125 for hopefully even a double potentially, then we can see what happens with that. That would be really cool, but you never know. So looking forward to that. So some numbers that I'm targeting next week for the complexes, these 2 complexes. After the block clean and jerk stuff, or push press, I should say, I did some cleans from the floor. So I went 70, 120, 140, and then jumped to 153. I was hoping to do a triple. You'll see me attempt the triple and not even be close on the third one, but the first 2 reps were good, and I kind of knew once I did the second rep that there was a pretty good chance I was just going to Clark it, like it just wasn't going to move, because of how difficult the second rep was and just how the speed felt different. But happy to continue to add more cleans in, and I think next week I would like to target potentially something more than 160 for a double. In a perfect world, I would probably go 140 to 153 like I did on this day, and then jump to just like 161, something just above 160, and try to do a double with that. I do need to get a little bit better at that when I'm getting close to matching a PR, that I just chip it by 1 or 2 kilos and do that. I kind of regret that with the 230 squat that I did on Saturday, where that 230 tied my best double that I've done with back squats, unless I've done 235 and I have forgotten about it. But I was kind of thinking of trying to do it for a triple, but honestly, when I looked at the double, and I was like, I should have just went for the third one, but it might not been there, and it's better to be a little bit more cautious than to be a little bit more aggressive and miss that in that context, especially. And I was happy with how they moved, and it kind of gives you that fire to next time you're like, all right, I just got to do a little bit more. So I think I definitely could have done a couple more kilos more. I don't know, like the last week prior to that, I failed 235 for a double. I don't know if I had quite that much, but something in between. So gonna not just do whole numbers, and took a good start at that, I suppose, with the cleans here, where I did 153, so a number that wasn't 150, multiple of 5. It's something that it's kind of hard to do mentally, because you just want to it's only 2 more kilos, or whatever, it's just a little bit more. and it usually makes it a nicer number, but sometimes it's good to work in between that. And with weightlifting, one of the benefits of all the little plates is you can get really into the minutia of 1 kilo or 2 kilos on your best lift. So I need to get better at that, especially in a strength lift, and not just always expect to go 5 kilos up or whatever I'm trying to do. Take some small wins, because obviously those will add up as well, and I suppose it's also nice because then you get more PRs. So you get to say you hit a PR more frequently as well, and not have to wait so long in between, I suppose. But this is the 3rd rep here, and you see there, just wasn't there. Was way too fatigued at that point. Also, on a separate note, I did get the replacement tier shoes, so I'm going to continue to use my old ones until they really fall apart, but they did send the replacements and I did get them in the mail, so I was really happy about the customer service with that. So I do have a brand new pair, or fresh pair, that is waiting for me to use if that one, like the bottom, starts to come off entirely, and then I think between the two I should be able to get them to last quite a while. If I was a dirt ball person, I would just sell the new shoes, but thankfully I'm not a dirt ball, and I also want to use them, but I fear that people would do what I have done to get a new pair of shoes and then sell it and pocket the extra money that they would get, since they're like literally brand new. So I don't necessarily, I'm more concerned with it from a business standpoint. Like, they should have made me send my old pair of shoes in too. But I don't know. I they just wanted to get them to me faster. So I appreciate it, because it made that turnaround less, and I could continue to wear the old pair until I have the new one. But now I have, the pair that's starting to get wore out, and then I have the replacement pair. So do appreciate that. So can't, I was going to make an update about the review of the shoe, but when you have good customer service like that, I don't really feel the need to do like a separate update review or anything like that. But I was prepared to go scorched earth, really for no reason. They didn't give me an indication that they were going to treat me poorly, but I was ready. So if you ever give me anything to review and it does bad, then I will go scorched earth on it, because I don't recommend stuff lightly. At least I try not to. If I like something and I'm talking about liking it, it's I don't make any money from any of these stuff that I talk about, whether it's shoes or shirts or equipment or anything like that. So if I talk about liking it, it's because I like it and I wear it or I use it or whatever it happens to be. So at least I like to think that my reviews or my opinions about products are pretty unbiased. I don't get paid. I buy them myself, so maybe once I start getting sponsored, y'all can question my morals and ethics. Then I'll become a paid shill for whatever company. Just hope it's a hook grip or tier or something that I use anyway, so it wouldn't really be questionable, because I already talk about liking them anyway. But anywho, that's it for this one. My rambles are over. I'll talk to you on the next one. Have a great day. Peace.